Hello everyone, I'm Audius Wolf, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. We are getting into the final role quest for Endwalker, which is the tank role quest, the only one we have not done yet. So, why don't we get right into it? Except, hold on, I did not turn up I forgot to do this. It's okay, I fixed it. Music. Let's go. I have come on behalf of the Twin Adders to enlist the aid of accomplished fighters, so the small folk cower in their homes for fear of an unprecedented threat to the Twelveswood, a blasphemy. It strikes quickly and with deadly precision before returning to the shadows whence it came. Try as we might, we have yet to devise a means to track it, much less slay it. Several brave souls search for it even now, but their chances would improve greatly if they had a stout protector by their side. Judging by your reputation, I dare say you're precisely the woman we seek. What say you? Will you serve as the shield that stands between Gridania and certain doom? Protecting the realm is what I do. I'll take that as an enthusiastic yes. Make haste to the Adder's Nest and report to my superior. All Gridania shall pray for your success. I can just return because it's my home point. And there's a bard. There's always at least one bard in Gridania playing music. Hello! Our liaison at Ronsahan sent word of your arrival, but I can scarcely believe our luck. Are you truly here to help us bring this wicked blasphemy to heel? That is correct. Then there is hope for us yet. I shall fetch the Elder Seatsier at once. She is leading the hunt, and I'm certain she'll be most eager to see you. Hello, Kane-sana! It's been a bit. Full glad am I to welcome you in good health and good spirits, Kaharu. On behalf of all Gridania, allow me to thank you for rising to our defense yet again. You'll forgive me for ensuring further formalities, as time is of the essence. I will share with you what little we know of this elusive scourge. Following the events of Thavnair, we received a report that an unidentified man had fallen into fits on the road before transforming into a beast most foul, a blasphemy, we soon determined. Eyewitnesses to subsequent attacks spoke of patterns on its skin reminiscent of heavy chains, and thus we have named it Gleipnir, for the creature of legend. It emerges from the brush without warning, bringing destruction and tragedy to those unfortunate enough to be near. Ere we can respond, it retreats into hiding, leaving no trace for us to follow. The elements cry out for us to rid the forest of this wicked presence. Yet even if we tracked it to its lair, I fear besting the beast would be no simple matter. Why is that? The wounds of Gleipnir's victims are tainted by corruption. We can but conclude that the fiend's fangs, claws, and horns are all imbued with a powerful poison. The smallest scratch sends the afflicted into fits, and death soon follows. Ooh. That's not good. Mayhap you know of the creeping death. The effects of Gleipnir's vile poison bear more than passing similarity to the symptoms of that deadly plague. It swept the Twelveswood many years ago. The sick found their skin covered in chain-like patterns, and spent their final moments in excruciating pain. 'Twas long before I came to Gridania, but people still speak of it with dread. Is it true that the disease spared not a single here? Very nearly, yes. Before the remainder were taken, we were able to devise a cure from the Glimshroom. So though it was, the scars of this tragedy could then begin to heal. Gleipnir threatened to reopen old wounds, I fear. Yet despite the similarities between the blasphemy's corruption and the creeping death's marks, it is unclear how the two phenomena are related, if at all. Both conjure and white magic have failed to abate the poison spread. To confront Gleipnir now would place our soldiers at risk of grievous injury. No. Forgive me, Elder Seatsier, but this appears to be urgent. What? Again? Libnir has struck once more in the North Shroud. The whalers came too late to see the beast themselves, but the man it attacked yet lives. They are bringing him to Fallgord float as we speak. Then we must meet them there. Will you accompany us, Kaharu? Ethelmar should be able to appraise us of the details upon our arrival. Alright, to the North Shroud. Away! Over here. Hello, I arrive. Hello. A seat, Seer, you honor us with your presence. I cannot thank you enough for coming all this way. Given the dire circumstances, I would not leave this to another. Where is the wounded man? Outside of the bobbing cork, being attended to by one of our healers. He's a capable healer, but I worry this is beyond his abilities. I shall do all in my power to aid him. I, in turn, may have need of assistance as well. I ask that you stay close, both of you. On it. I should turn on my tank stats. There we go. Oh, the fly has gotten free from the window. Lovely. Oh. Where? Outside? Ah, over here. He's a hardy soul, but I'm utterly at a loss. While I manage to heal his wounds, the poison lingers. I fear the worst is yet to come. When I removed his clothes for treatment, I recognized the chains. If this is indeed the creeping death, do not lose heart. I shall spare no effort. Rest for now. You may have need of your talents again ere long. Chigoes, man, Chigoes! A bloody swarm of them! That came from the East Gate. Chigoes are known as carriers of the creeping death. The villagers are on edge. If they think the Vilekin harbingers of another plague, they may panic. Praise to the Chigoes. Praise to the Chigoes. I shall remain here with the victim. Alright. Oh, I can't see. There we go. Whee! What, Charlie? What? Why you scream? Cats. They were near Elder Springs, a whole swarm of them, like an army getting ready for war. Hi, Charlie. Why are you being all cautious? Silly cat. What? Why do you scream? Okay, to the closet you go. Bringing the creeping death like as not. Folk have been dropping dead with no rhyme or reason, and I'm not about to join him. No, sir. Came running back as fast as my legs could carry me. Were you betting? I'll show you to your hero if so. Not a single hole that doesn't belong, you can be sure. You'd best do something about that swarm, though. Would that we could, but keeping the gate manned is our priority, and we have not the numbers to spare for a hunting party. By the time whaler reinforcements arrive, it may be too late. We'll deal with the Chigoes. The one who calls the greater number owes the other a flagon of ale, aye? I commend you your bravery. Godspeed, and don't get bitten. Don't fly behind my chair, please, Charlie. You're lying. Oh, you're going under the bed. Split. Beautiful. Oh, Oh, hello, there's more. Still there. Goodness! 12 be praised, and you! I've come bearing a cure for the creeping death, but it's of little use against actual death. Aye, that's why I've come. I'd heard tell of a man suffering from uncommon pains at Fulgore Float. Such an opportunity for philanthropy and a touch of profit, I'll admit. Oh. The cat has gone under the bed. Ah, cats. But if what you say is true, his condition demands a much swifter pair of feet than mine. Could you bring the medicine to him in my stead? No need for payment this time, of course. You saved my life, and one good turn deserves another. I only hope the cure works as well as purported. As for me, I'll be on my way, and give any vile kin I spy a wide berth. Whee! Away! Alright. Nope, outside. I arrive! Thank you for calling the Chigoways. Alas, our patient's condition has yet to improve, and it is all we can do to keep him from succumbing to the poison. Try this. I know this medicine. It was once used to treat the creeping death. Given the symptoms, it may well prove effective here as well. It works upon the body quite quickly, as I recall. Just hold on a while longer, my friend. The medicine will soon relieve your pain. I don't. It hurts. It hurts. Ah! Oh. Why? Why? The man shrieked, die in his throat as his body is racked by violent convulsions. He then falls still and quiet, as if his breath was snatched from his chest. Twelve, have mercy. At the very least, his suffering is over. Had we been quicker to deliver the medicine, would he have lived? Nay, I think not. He was doomed from the moment the poison entered his blood, as will be others if we do not soon gain an understanding of our foe. Let this tragedy not be in vain, but serve as a lesson. Though the effects of Glepnir's corruption resemble the creeping death, it is clear that the two share little else in common. The poison burns through the body more quickly than any disease. Too deadly it is to be borne by creatures so fragile as Chigoways, or any other besides. Then that is one less possibility the people need fear. 'Tis a shame a life was lost, but this knowledge may help us ensure that others are not. Spread word, but do so with delicacy. In these troubled times, fear and despair can drive even the goodliest of souls to desperate ends. Glepnir is the only blasphemy known to us in Gridania. For now, we must do our utmost to stop him from sowing further discord. Understood, Elder Cease here. I'll give this man a proper burial before sharing what we've discovered. Ascertaining Glepnir's whereabouts is still a primary concern. Let's return to the Adder's Nest, for information shall be our most reliable weapon in the days ahead, and there is no better place to acquire it. That's... That poor man. So, I've heard of the Creeping Death before. It was briefly mentioned in the... Ow, my ears! My ears. The Creeping Death was, I believe, briefly mentioned in the Gridanian opening, because you can't start in Gridania, which I did. And it only affected hearers, if I remember correctly. No idea why, but only hearers. Blasphemy has been cited in various locales, and though we are reviewing every report, we suspect most are ignorous. Fear has a way of making one jump at shadows. It'll take some time before we have determined which reports merit a more involved investigation. Until then, I ask that you stay vigilant and keep your eyes peeled for any sign of the blasphemy. Can do, my good sir. We have followed up on every report concerning Gleipnir, even those that beg good belief. The most promising suggests the blasphemy is currently stalking the South Shroud. We are to proceed there at once, for there is no telling where it might strike again. The other Seedseer is already en route to Root's Lake. Let us not keep her waiting. Root's Lake. That is... okay. Camp Tranquil. Greetings, Kaharu. As luck would have it, my sister Raya O frequents Camp Tranquil. We would do well to meet with her first, for she may have knowledge of this threat that can aid us in our search. Yay! I haven't seen that girl in a while. It has been too long, Raya O. Kanye! I was afraid the situation might force your arrival. Would that this reunion was under more joyous circumstances. It is heartening to see her joined by the bearer of Aetowa's will. Unfortunately, Gleipnir's prison cannot be cured by any healing force known to us, as I'm sure you've already learned. Nevertheless, I have faith that together we will find a way to defeat it. Every moment is crucial, so let us dispense with further pleasantries. Have you received word of Gleipnir's whereabouts? I have. It recently ambushed a poor traveler who succumbed to his wounds soon thereafter. A tragic and increasingly common tale. No others in Camp Tranquil have come to harm, but some claim they feel a presence in the distant trees, staring at them with malicious intensity. They struggle to find the courage to venture beyond the safety of the camp. While its victims exhibit symptoms reminiscent of the Creeping Death, Gleipnir's corruption seems to affect those who have been assaulted by the blasphemy itself. We have yet to confirm a single instance of it spreading from one individual to another. That's somewhat reassuring, but it will provide little comfort to the people here, I think. If Gleipnir comes, any defense we mount will come at great cost. Those who fall wounded will invariably die. I'm at a loss, and the people under my care can see it. They grow tense and bicker amongst themselves. Some even accuse me of standing idly by while the monster roams free, as if I'm not doing all that I can. I apologize. Would that I come to you sooner. Would that there were more I could offer you. Perhaps the elementals could help. The elementals cry out for succor as loudly as the people do. This I know you feel, Kane. Gleipnir poses a threat to all life in the Twelveswood, and as such, we should face it as one. Their strength has waned since the calamity, and I am reluctant to impose upon them. Nay, as Seedseers, it is our duty to first expend every option available to us, and spare them further distress. Once we have laid low the blasphemy, the elementals will be at peace. Well now, how do you propose we go about that? First, allow me to speak with the people here and assure them that all will be well, that Gridania's resolve to weather the storm remains steadfast. No road is closed to those true of heart. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised that you're being... that you'd be... I suppose I shouldn't be surprised that you begin being an earnest and heartfelt appeal. For my part, I shall reach out to Arun. Perhaps together we can find a way to offer similar comfort to the elementals. I have no doubt we will require their assistance in the days ahead. Thank you, sister. May the 12 watch over and keep you both. May I trouble you to accompany me? The presence of a storied hero would surely lend credence to my claim that the people's difficulties will soon be at an end. While you attend to that, I shall gather what information I can from the wood whalers stationed here. Pray look for me at the camp proper when you have finished. If we are to convince the people that they need not live in fear of Gleipnir, then my words alone may be insufficient. I do not comport myself as an imposing figure blessed with martial prowess, to say the least. You, on the other hand, are renowned as a peerless warrior who has triumphed in countless trials. Simply looking on your futures fills me with confidence that this crisis too shall pass. I pray you stand by my side, that those we speak with might be joyed by your presence. Hey! Kane's following me! Kane's following me! Seatseers are sitting pretty with their guards and finery. What do they care if a beastie is running amok? They'll be fine. That's why they're doing nothing while it hunts us. We'd be fools to trust our lives to those that don't care a whit. Aye, past time we went south. At least in Ul'dah they don't pretend to look out for the common man. Elder Seatseer, I was just, I promise you that we are sparing no effort for our hunt in Gleipnir. However, it will take time, and more may suffer before the beast is laid low. Nevertheless, I ask that you place your faith in me, if only for a while longer. I love the 12 Squirting people with all my heart, and I will not let our enemy torment us forever. I understand. Man's gotta give voice to his worries from time to time, Nothing I want less than to abandon my home. I'll stick around. For now. A single scratch is enough to spell one's doom, they say. Nothing but to wait for death to come. How can we face a beast like that? Do not give into despair, my friend. Know that I shall do all in my power to see us through this crisis. Hold fast to hope, and encourage others to do so as well. I'll try, Elder Seatseer. I'll try. I know you placed yourself at risk, leaving the safety of the city and coming here. And that means a lot to me and mine. I'll stay close with the whalers and pray for news of your triumph. And pray news of your triumph reaches us soon. Thank you. I promise you that will not be long. Alright, well, I guess I had to sneeze, and then the sneeze decided to go away. I love it when that happens. I saw it, a gargantuan beast stalking the woods, with horns the size of my leg. What's to stop it from coming here to fill its belly? Gleipnir will do no such thing, I swear. I shall see to it personally that the blasphemy does not come within a mom of this village. Keep heart, for brighter days lie ahead of us. Truly, Elder Seatseer. Perhaps I've let my imagination get the better of me. You're a beacon in these dark times. I pray you restore the peace soon. I shall, you can be certain. Will that be all for now, Elder Seatseer? It will. I have done what I can to quell the unrest, but so long as Gleipnir lives, they will never be at peace. Sometimes simply lending an ear does wonders. It must be the case with the elementals, yes? Indeed, you're correct. Today was a welcome reminder of that truth, and an important step in our journey. Mayhap I should visit these settlements more often. Doubtless some here think me as distant as the elementals, so rarely do they see me in the outer reaches. You have served me admirably as protectors thus far, for which I am grateful. Yet, until we have found and laid Glepnir low, I must continue to impose upon your goodwill. 'Tis no imposition, Elder Seatsier. You saved me on the killing fields of Cartnell. My life is yours, now and always. Your life is your own to command, but I thank you for your words, and your conviction, which fills me with confidence that the path we walk is true. Even if that path takes us far afield. Did I ever tell you that, when I was a young student, I would often steal into the woods with a dear friend of mine, much to the chagrin of our teacher? Deep down, I suspect there's still a part of me that yearns to wander where I should not. Elder Seatsier, word from the border. We've got ourselves a right bloody mess from the sounds of it. What has happened? Per your early instructions, the whalers closed the roads to all travel while we scoured the woods for signs of Glepnir. But now a group of locals are demanding to be let through into Thanalan. They're terrified with the sounds of it, screaming about the creeping death and gods know what else. Despair grips their hearts. If it consumes them wholly, then we may yet have more blasphemies to contend with. I will speak with them. Wild rumors fuel the panic, and with truth and compassion will I convince them to see reason and return to their homes. If anyone can, it's you, Elder Seatsier. We're doing our best to keep them calm for now, but my man's words painted a grim picture. I pray you make your way to the border as quickly as you can. Oh dear. Well, that's not good. Let us through, damn you! We're standing here with the creeping death nips at our heels. You're telling us to die. Those rumors are false. The Elder Seatsier herself has sent word that the creeping death is not responsible for the recent incidents. You mustn't surrender to panic. Return to your homes while we deal with the threat and pay no heed to baseless stories. Stories? Stories? I've seen the dead with my own eyes. Don't tell me what is and isn't true. Hearken to me, my friends. I come before you now to assure you that the creeping death has not returned. Only those who have been wounded by Glepnir are in danger, and so I beseech you to take shelter in your homes until the threat has passed. Glepnir? The beast I saw in the wood? We have to run. It could have followed us. You saw him? Where? Not far from here. Those listening horns, those terrible chains, reaching out to drag you down to the seventh hell. We ran and never looked back. But don't worry, it didn't catch any of us. No one's marked, see? That means we're safe, right? But say we weren't quite fast enough. What then? Its horns and claws are where its poison resides, and even a scratch would be cause for concern. Oh! Oh, that's not good. Even a little scratch. Then it's too late for me? Is that why my body feels like it's on fire? You told me the brown just tripped you up. You said that's how it happened. You said. O heavenly winds, guide us to the font of strength. May we drink from it and be made whole. I don't feel any better. Do it again. Do it again. It hurts. Help me. Conjuring has no effect. There can be no mistake. This is Gleipnir's doing. Even so, I ask that you do not lose heart. Stay strong, for if we surrender to fear, the beast has already won. No, I don't want to die. Please, help me. Uh-oh. Get back! You said it wasn't... why? Why? Liars! Liars! All of you! None of us are safe! None of us will... Oh God. Despair made manifest, 12 for Fend. Is there naught that can be done for these poor souls? Not but one thing, I know. I know. We must lay them to rest. Contain the threat. Oh. Oh, those poor men. Come at me! All we can do with them, unfortunately. They are at peace. Would that it had not come to this. I was powerless to prevent it. You did all you could, Elder Seetsier. Is that what's going to happen to us? Is there no hope? What you witnessed was the fate of those who fall into deepest despair. It feeds upon grief and anguish, and is more deadly than Gleipnir itself. But as I swore to you that we shall defeat the blasphemy that haunts our homeland, so too do I swear that despair will not be the end of us. Keep the faith and look to the horizon, for brighter days will come. As you say, Elder Seedseer, as you say. Gleipnir is not here, and so you are free to return to your homes, but I urge you to take care on the path back. We will, Elder Seedseer. The storm has passed, but a darker tempest roils in the distance. So long as the specter of despair looms, the people will struggle to take any words of comfort to heart. We will see more tragedies like this. The elementals too cry out for a solution. The longer we struggle to resolve this crisis, the more innocent lives to put at risk. Raya said we would need to turn to the elementals for assistance, and I know now she was right, and so I will seek audience with the Great One. However, there are preparations I must attend to first. I shall make the proper oblations at the Lotus Stand. Pray return to the Otter's Nest and await my summons. You got it. Oh, nope, the bar's still there. Despite our best efforts, we have been unable to prevent further loss of life. I foresee even greater hardship ahead. As we press on, we mustn't forget the words of the Elder Seatseer. We must strive to remain undaunted in the face of despair. She is preparing for a communion with the Great One. When the time is right, she'll call upon us both. Until then, my friend, stay strong. The situation has worsened since last we spoke. Gleipnir grows bolder in his attacks, and the conjurers are spread thin in their efforts to attend the victims. Moreover, we are no closer to finding a means to counteract the Blasphemy's poison. With no choice but to wait until death claims them, some are overwhelmed by hopelessness, becoming mad beasts that lash out their former countrymen. Such tragedies all too easily beget further tragedy, as bereaved loved ones are in turn overcome and share in the same horrid fate. The people speak of these incidents in hushed whispers, afraid that any moment a monster might appear within their midst. If we could find a cure for the Blasphemy's poison. Indeed. Let us hope the Elder Seatseer's effort to investigate the elementals are successful, and that united we may at last cleanse the 12th Sword of this evil once and for all. Urgent news, Kaharu. Gleipnir has ambushed a party of wood whalers. They are engaged with the Blasphemy near the Guardian Tree, where the Great One slumbers. This bodes ill. Oh no, that's what Kami is right now, isn't it? Has it defined the Elder Seatseer's intent? Is it attempting to prevent her from communing with the elementals? In any event, we cannot let Gleipnir harm the tree. The Elder Seatseer bade us rendezvous with her at Sorrel Haven. We leave at once. Okay. Away! Battered arms and armor are strewn across the ground, but there's no other trace of man or blasphemy. Oh no! Oh no, they turned! I see. I think I know what happened here, though I pray that I am wrong. There's no sign of the wood whalers save their arms and armor. The seasoned warriors would never cast aside their equipment, but here it lies, and I see not a single body. In the face of certain death, even the bravest among us can succumb to despair. Before the Blasphemy's poison took them, they transformed. Oh dear. Gleipnir could not have gone far. He may be watching us even now. Be on your guard. The air is thick with corruption. If the wood whalers succumb to a man, then we can expect a hard fight. Though I dread the thought of hurting our brave soldiers, we cannot allow the creatures they have become to roam free. Let us form two groups to more quickly track down and cull the beasts. Once we have finished, we shall regroup under the boughs of the guardian tree. Hold on, I fixed my headphones. There we go. Alright. Let's go see if there's any more of these transformed beings. Oh, the poor soldiers. One. Oh, there's another. Last one is over here. You have laid to rest the last of the turned whalers. Reunite with your companions at Evershade. Oh goodness, goodness gracious, this is not good. This is not good. Okay. Hello, Guardian Tree. Haven't been here in a bit. Our work is done then. The loss of so many brave souls is tragic, but now they are at peace, and the Guardian Tree is safe. Let us take comfort in that. But I pray that the Great One will heal me. I pray that the Great One will hear my plea. Not yours, Kane. Uh-oh, that's not good. Other seats here. Are you hurt? The Great One is filled with fear, an all-consuming fear unlike any I have ever felt. It spoke unto me, and its words were declaration. Drive the evil away. Drive the evil away. It can think of naught else, and so we will not receive the aid we seek. Not until we can dispel the dread claws at the forest's very heart. No, this was our last hope. Do you hear that? We are not alone. Ooh, hello. There can be no mistake. That is the profane beast. The blasphemy that has mired the Twelveswood in despair. Glepnir. Stay back! It makes for the guardian tree. We must stop it. The poison! You mustn't let it touch you. Such fearsome strength. Ooh! Ah, Kane! Oh god. In accordance with our covenant, we Padjal have been blessed by the elementals. From the moment we are chosen, we are bound to act as mediators between man and nature. The most skilled among us are honored as seat-seers, and it is their duty to guide Gridania through times of poor and prosperous. I cannot say which of you will be found more worthy. In my estimation, you both have the potential to become seat-seers. Of that, I become more certain by the day. But I don't want to be a seed seer. I never wanted to be a Padgel either. I never asked for any of this. Why can't I live a normal life like everyone else? How come I don't get to grow old? Why was I cursed with these ugly horns? I like them. And maybe we didn't choose to be born this way, but I don't think it makes us that different from everyone else. It's a rare gift, a blessing even, and if we can use it to help others, then we should. Don't give up on becoming a seed seer, Kane. We'd all be worse for it. A blessing? I never thought of it that way. I suppose I just hated not having a choice. But maybe you're right. That was Kane's past. Kane. The matron is merciful. The other seer has fallen unconscious, but is otherwise unharmed. The blasphemy must not have touched her, for I do not see the telltale mark of poison. Still, I am no healer, and she should be looked after by those who are. I shall carry her back to Gridania. We must leave before Glepnir returns. Wait me at Adder's Nest. Alright. That was someone who knew Kane. Allow me to thank you again for your assistance. The Elder Seedseer has been delivered into the care of A. Sumiyan, and by the grace of the elementals, she will make a full recovery. In fact, she has already regained consciousness, but is not yet allowed to receive visitors. We can but wait for now. God damn it, I was useless! I could do nothing while the Elder Seedseer faced Glepnir alone. I was to be her shield. That I stand before you while she lies abed is proof of my failure. She wouldn't have wanted you to throw your life away. You truly are the hero of whom the bards sing, aren't you? You suffered terrible trials, yet still you stand tall and resolute. Thank you for your counsel. How close I come to forgetting the lessons of my past. I've spoken of it to few. Truth be told, it brings me shame to recall it. I fought at Cartano, not as a soldier of the Eorzean Alliance, but as a conscript in the Garlean Imperial Army. Clad in armor and magitech, another drop in a sea of pitiless metal. You grow numb to the violence and the killing out of necessity. It becomes routine. Work to earn your next meal. But then the moon shattered and the dragon emerged, and when the dust had settled, I was another body clinging to life amongst the fallen. I remember staring at the burning sun above, growing weaker, wondering if the heat or an Eorzean's blade would finish the job. But it wasn't death that came, but salvation. I was delivered from my well-earned fate by the Elder Seedseer. She deigned to save a man who once bared steel against her people. Her kindness didn't end there. Once my wounds had healed, she welcomed me with open arms. Never did she regard me with distrust, nor did she ever make me feel obliged to repay my debts. She fought not to take life, but to safeguard it. Through our friendship, I came to see the wisdom in that distinction, and pledged my remaining years to her service. To have accomplished nothing to throw myself against Glepnir in vain, and even if there was profit to be found in the sacrifice, she would not abide it. Your words serve to remind me of this. We will defeat the Blasphemy, aye, but we will do so without forsaking that which we hold dear. This I swear. Kara, the Elder Seedseer is grown strong enough to receive visitors. Come, we must go to Stillglad Fane at once. I think... yeah. I can just go through here. Whee! And I arrive! Sophie, Gaddy! Oh, you're all here! Look at you three! Oh! Elder Seedseer, it fills my heart with joy to see you in better health. I am glad by your presence as well, my friend. Lest you wonder, know that the Conjurers found no trace of poison in my humors. If you are ready, I would resume our search for Glepnir. They may be up to the task, but you are not. 'Tis one thing to engage in conversation, quite another to go gallivanting about the Trouswood hunting a blasphemy. I am aware you are a conjurer of surpassing skill and would not presume to gainsay your judgment, but have my wounds not healed? Those visible to the naked eye, perhaps. I worry that the strain of your communion with the Great One has taken its toll on you in ways we may yet struggle to perceive. The Great One is a being of purest ether, and you are exposed to its unbridled despair, its raw terror. There may be consequences. I am aware of that, but Gleipnir must be stopped. Until the blasphemy is laid low, people will continue to die. How am I to carry out my duties cloistered here? How am I to deliver the forest and its people from this despair? 'Tis your duties that demand you remain. I understand your frustration, but if you were to fall in battle, if your guiding light you bear were to fade, then all Britannia would be lost. Rest, Kane, and gather your strength so that when the time comes, you are fit to do what must be done. In the meantime, trust in your allies. You're right. That said, I see no reason I cannot join in planning our next step. As you said before, conversation is quite unlike gallivanting about on a hunt. Our encounter with Gleipnir has made it plain that we cannot hope to triumph over it as we are. Only with the Great One's power can we achieve victory. When the seventh Emerald Calamity was nigh, the Great One committed a portion of its boundless strength to extend a barrier over heaven and earth, the Ummern Hedge. Thus was the Twelves Wood spared the worst. If we can convince it again to lend us even a small measure of that power, we would need not fear the poison. Therefore, I believe we should pour our efforts into placating the elementals, that we might earn their favor. Well, the quieting worked before, it may again. Ah, of course, you're the inheritor of Aetawan as well. Rayo and Arun praised the wisdom and bravery you displayed that day. Indeed, we were very nearly overrun by the creatures the Great One called to its defense. But this time is different. The Great One quakes with such fear that it cannot even bear to behold its enemy, let alone fight it. And so we must find a way to dispel this fear and that binds it, and reassure it that together we can defeat Gleipnir. Only then will it hearken to our words. I think, too, that we must gain a greater understanding of what drives Gleipnir. It seems to be a resentment towards the elementals, a great one in particular. Why? I have pondered this question myself. Lingering memories of the person Gleipnir once was may be responsible. Reports from Ralta Han suggest this is likely the case, in fact. If we could but ascertain the original identity of the blasphemy, but where are we even to begin our investigation? You granted a vision of Gleipnir's past, and I was there? Then I may know who he is, or was. As do I, the boy you trained alongside Kane in her youth. Eyasura Supin, after all these years, this is what has become of him? Ah, you mentioned him briefly before. Were you close? Eyasura was a Pajali, like me, but he had never known his parents and devoted himself wholly to his studies. He embraced the role the forest had bestowed upon him, and truth be told, was a much better student than I ever was. A fair assessment. Despite your esteemed heritage, you never took to my lessons as well as he did, ever dreaming of the outside world. Stealing off into the woods more times than I can count, I could not keep watch over you at all hours, not even if I tried. The elder seed seer, a rebellious spirit. I can scarce imagine it. I resented being a Patchel. It was inconceivable to me that I could not live among the others, and I did not scruple to express my misgivings to Eisumiyan at every opportunity. Eyasura was a pillar of constant support, It was thanks to his encouragement that I at last embraced my destiny and resolved to use my gifts for the greater good. We would become seed-seers together, I believed, until one fateful day, when we were gathering herbs in the forest at Aesumion's behest. We met a wanderer hailing from a distant land who told us his beloved was with child, and that he had traveled to Gridania to beseech the Great One for a painless birth. He asked us to guide him to the guardian tree. However, entry into such sacred places was not ours to permit, and there was something odd about his demeanor besides. With regret, I refused him, but Easura was loath to turn away a goodly stranger in need. He agreed to guide the man despite my protestations. I ran to Aesumion as fast as I could, and together we made haste to the guardian tree. We found the man motionless on the ground, having succumbed to the Great One's rage, and next to him was Easura, alive but unconscious. In time he recovered and related the whole story. In truth, the man had been an adventurer, a seeker of wealth and glory, and he had knelt to make false supplications. And as he knelt to make false supplications, he lunged forward to tear a branch from the guardian tree. He was yet a child, and Easura had no inkling of the darkness that could dwell within men's hearts. He learned the lesson that day, but the price he paid for it was great indeed. The Great One stripped Easura of his horns, and with them the right to call himself a Padgil. I was forced to expel him from the fane. I never saw him again, nor heard a word of what had become of him. Though not for lack of trying, despite his hardships, he did remain in the Twelveswood all this time. Despite his hardships, did he remain in the Twelveswood all this time, I wonder? He dreamed of naught else but becoming a seed-seer, of a life in service to the people and the forest. He knew the weight of the responsibility and was eager to bear it. But he was deprived of that purpose by the very elementals he loved, and yet he did not lose that will to serve, I suspect, and instead resolved to watch over the Twelveswood in his own way. I shudder to think what could have hastened his transformation into Gleipnir. As if his life was not harsh enough. In our final conversation, Easura confided in me that he would search for a means to calm the Great One's rage and earn absolution. To that end, he said that he would seek the counsel of the Mughals. They have called the Twelveswood home for far longer than we have, and so none are more likely to have knowledge of its most hidden workings. That comes as no surprise. He would not give up so easily on his dream. Even if the Mughals know naught of Easura, they may be able to help us in other ways. Will you travel to the Bramble Patch in my stead, Kaharu? I have faith they will accept you with their characteristic aplomb. You got it. Alright, I gotta visit Mughals. Yay, Mughals. Yay! Mughals. Oh, this is going to be fun. Oh, goodness gracious. Huh? Quite a peculiar face you have, Kupo. Familiar, too. You wouldn't be the self-same warrior who gave the legendary Mughals guard what for, would you? Kahari, was it? Aha! It's an honor to meet you. Allow me to thank you personally for bringing that silliness to an end. Puka Pika's the name. What brings you to our neck of the Twelveswood? Why, what a pleasant coincidence! We're just discussing how we ought to go about calming the elementals, Kupo. That blasphemy with the dreadful horns has got them on edge, and for good reason. I've had to ask my personal guard here to sleep with one eye open. In case you haven't noticed, the beast's corruption has been spreading all throughout the Twelveswood. Needless to say, we've all got to stand up and put the 12's wood to rights. Raya suggested that the Muggles contribute by scouring the forest for even the smallest signs of taint. Gotta cleanse it before it gets out of hand, you know? Difficult and time-consuming work, but if it's in service to the forest, then we'll gladly do it. Then we'll do it gladly, Koopa. Hey, I know you! You're the adventurer who gave me some of my finest scars. Coop-de-Coop of the Muggles Guard. No hard feelings about the whole Hail to the King Koopa bit, I hope. Not going to call for a rematch either, in case you're worried about that. Raya and the others cured us of our tempering, and afterwards sat us down for a stern lecture. No more calling upon good King Mog the 11th for us. May he ever remain unsummoned in his royal grace and splendor. Indeed, and what better way to make up for past indiscretions than to serve the realm? Even now, I can scour every elm of the 12th Wood, and we would be remiss not to do our part. We would be overjoyed to have such a hero as you helping us as well, if you're willing. Something tells me you have a sharp eye for the taint that we seek to cleanse. Can we count on you, Koopa? Your reputation for magnanimity is well deserved. Let's begin by moving to higher ground, that we may survey the area and locate any particularly nasty spots of blight. Alright then, away we go. Okay, where... Oh, I actually have to fly. Interesting. Oh, so you're able to make your way up here after all. I was worried you'd be stuck. Apologies for leaving you behind, but it's so easy to forget that your kind lacks wings, Koopa. Now then, where is it? There, to the south. Let us cleanse that festering taint at once. Alright, away we go. Where is it? Where is it? Oh! There it is. Down it goes. Beautiful. All clean. That was some fine work, Koopa. I dare say it's in even better shape than it was before. The others are doubtless flittering about stamping out corruption wheresoever it rears its hideous head. If I were the Great One, I would be applauding our efforts. Well, insofar as such a being without hands can clap, I suppose. How goes the tainting cleansing, Coop-de-Coop? I did what I could, but I swear, as soon as I finish with one area, two more start manifesting a fresh taint. The force's ability to heal itself is waning, and this sickness is spreading too fast for even a legion of Muggles to manage. If we don't come up with a better solution soon... The situation is more grave than we imagined, Koopa. Oh, what do we do? We should maintain our efforts to purify the forest regardless, but since there are only so many of us, we must also help the forest remember how to help itself. A brilliant idea, I think. How do we go about doing that? Well, I was just getting to that part, Koopa. I've got it! We performed the friending. The friending? What in the name of good King Moggamog the 11th, may he shower us with loving compassion as Koopa nuts, is that? Truth be told, I couldn't remember the ancient right's name, so I just made something up on the spot, Koopa. But let's forget about that for now and move on to the stuff I do remember. It's an old ceremony, first performed when the nation of Gridania was but a spark of an idea of a random thought in its founders' heads. That was a sentence. They knew that if they were to establish a home within the 12th Wood, that they would first have to entreat with the elementals for permission. So a mage in their company found and cleansed a few sources of foul ether, planting saplings in their place, and consecrated the soil with a prayer to show the forest the purity of their intentions. The The elementals were so taken with his display that not only did they permit his people to settle within the forest, they also bestowed upon him their blessing as proof of their new confidant, Kupo. Ah, I remember now. The Gridanians still honor the agreement to this day. For every tree that is cut down, a sapling is planted. So if we follow history's example, we can soothe the forest's pain and also nourish it with life. That's right, Kupo. Yay! We have a plan. Oh, but it wasn't finished with the story. Remember the mage who planted those sacred saplings? He was none other than Joran, sire of Ohokpota, the very first Patchel. From that day forward, the elementals would bless a select few herds with horns, favoring them with their fellowship. The Patchel were exalted by all the peoples of the Twelveswood. Even we Moogles look upon them with awe, and that's how it all began. Interesting. Something wrong, Kupo? You have a strange look on your face. Blasphemy may be a Padgel, a former Padgel at least. How dreadful, Kupo. But what exactly are you saying? So the man you may think that he may have become Gleipnir was a Padgel stripped of his blessing, and that the blasphemy kills with a poison that manifests symptoms that resemble those of the creeping death. I feel sorry for this Iasora, to love the elementals only to be shunned by them, to be surrounded by the beauty of the Twelveswood and know that he was forever an outsider, all for a child's mistake. That despair could easily have caused him to turn, and this poison that preys upon those who bear the Twelveswood's blessing and the hearers, just like the creeping death once did, might be another manifestation of that despair. That would explain the elementals' unease, Kupo. We must redouble our efforts in planting saplings, or they might never speak to us again. Indeed. Well, first things first, we must gather as many saplings as we can. Gaharu, wait for us at the Adder's Nest, and make ready for a long and back-breaking day. Alright. Okay, this is my life now. This is my life now. Oh, what have I gotten myself into? Yeah, noises. What have I gotten myself into? You know, I would love it if my keyboard actually decided to work and stay working. Welcome back, Gaharu. Did the Moogles have any insight into our problems? A reenactment of the ceremony which laid the foundation of Gridania, a fitting plan, given the gravity of the threat our nation now faces. As ever, there is much work to be done before we can even begin. While the Moogles gather saplings, we shall continue to scour the Twelveswood for new beasts that must be purged. Let us pray that the Elder Seed regains her strength quickly as well. For now, take a rest, my friend. It is a rare indulgence these days, and one you've earned 1,000 times over. Gleipnir has not been seen since our last encounter. This brief respite may be our best chance to quell the Great One's terror. Make way for the saplings, Kupo! We have had plenty of practice cultivating our gardens, so selecting the most robust ones was a simple matter. That was the hardest work, so you can help us with the easy part. If you see a spot of corruption, cleanse the taint and plant the seedling in its place, Kupo. Do it enough times, and the Great One is sure to understand that we're doing all we can to heal the forest, which ought to brighten its mood. We'll see to the East Shroud. You should have no trouble taking care of the rest, Kupo. Your efforts are much appreciated. We will begin without further delay. I trust you will not object to my company. I dare say healing the forest is one task for which I am more qualified than most. Elder Seatsier, are you well enough to leave the city? I should like to think I have been for some time. In any event, Asumi has finally grown tired of my objections and ceased his attempts to detain me further. Allow me to be the one to concentrate these saplings. It will be an honor to offer words of thanks to the forest for its bounty. Please do, Kupo. I pray for the Elder Seatsier herself will surely hasten their growth from tiny sapling to towering tree. Such is my hope. As joined before me, I shall approach the Great One in friendship, that it might see through the veil of fear that blinds it and remember our covenant. Let us begin by cleansing all traces of corruption in the central shroud. To Green Tier, I sense that the flow of ether has become warped there. Alrighty. Impressive, Kupo! Not even my keen eyes could spot corruption from such a distance. It is but one of many talents I owe to the elementals. Well then, shall we be on our way? Yep. Okay, where... Sun Branch Meadows, away! Oh. That was the wrong button. Okay, come on, keyboard. Work with me. Never get a Bluetooth keyboard. Never get a Bluetooth keyboard. Okay, let's see. Over here. Ah, there's the corrupted air. Bad corruption. All yours, it, Connie. In gratitude for your boundless blessing, I do offer this gift. May it nourish you as you nourish us. At last, the earth is cleansed. There is a settlement not far from here. We should tell them of this sapling, bid them watch over it and keep it safe from harm. Of course, Elder Seatsier, I shall relay your words forthwith. It will give the people hope to know that they can aid in the restoration of the Twelveswood. Thank you. And now we must go... Silent Arbor. Something foul impedes the flow of ether. Let us hurry. Okay, where is this? South Shroud. am I? Did it just pop? Weird. There's Connie. The injury has begun to heal, and our next destination lies to the north. Near Hirschmill, I believe. 'Tis faint, for we are far from the source. Nevertheless, I am certain it is there. Come. Okay, Hirschmill. That is in the North Shroud. Hirschmill. Past the Ixel. Over Peace Garden. Tis fortunate that the corruption here is faint. A simple prayer should suffice to cleanse this soil, after which we may plant the sapling. I sense no other disruptions in the etheric flow, which leads me to believe that the Mughals have already seen to the reminder to. I can words. I sense no other disruption in the etheric flow, which leads me to believe that the Mughals have already seen to the remainder. Indeed, the 12 Sword sighs with contentment I have not felt in a long while. But will it serve to placate the Great One? I cannot say. Not until we visit the Guardian Tree. Excuse me, but you're the elder seat seer, aren't you? What brings you all the way to our village? Corruption that has upset the balance of ether, but we have since cleansed with prayer and saplings. Thus has the 12 Wood reclaimed a measure of peace. You've been planting trees. We have. The elementals have suffered much of late, and with these offerings we endeavor to raise their spirits. Elder Seatseer, I've got to protest. What of your people's spirits? We who dread every step we must take out of doors. That terrible monster is still out there, preying upon innocent folk without rhyme or reason. And if it doesn't strike us dead where we stand, its poison will finish the job. I know that you are afraid, that you and yours will suffer still. However, 'tis under the auspices of the elementals that we may call the 12 Wood home, and they too cry out for deliverance. Even the Great One quakes with fear for the Blasphemy's continued existence. To ignore their plight is to invite greater tragedy for us all. Rest assured, however, that I have not forgotten the need of the people. We bring comfort to the elementals and renew our sacred ties so that we might enlist the aid of the Great One in combating Glepnir and the suffocating despair it spreads. And so I pray you continue to put your faith in our guardians and in me. Would that we could, Elder Seatseer, but we've been dealing with death and sickness since before Glepnir's coming. They say that creeping death's nothing to fear these days, but we know better. One of ours caught it not long ago. We gave her the cure, had plenty on hand, and for a while we thought it would be alright. But by the time we realized it hadn't done a damn thing, it was too late to call for a conjurer. It was a sad day for all of us when she passed, but for none more so than her poor husband, Supin. He was beside himself with grief, and who could blame him? And then came Gleipnir to compound our woes. Supin, it cannot be. Do you speak of Easura Supin? Easura? No. Supin was an odd one, but no one mistake him for a Padgel. Supin wasn't even his real name. That'd be Elenja. But his wife was fond of calling him Supin for some reason, and it caught on with the rest of us. Oh dear. I see. And what did Elenja look like? Well, I'd say he'd seen no more than 30 summers. Kept himself, came and went with nary a word at times. Though after he met his beloved, he became more of a fixture, friendly even. His wife was a sickly lass, but she had spirit. But spirit's not enough to beat the creeping death. Pity we couldn't do anything for her. He had finally made a new life for himself here. Thank you for recounting Elenya's story. Sad though it was, it has helped me to better understand how much you have all suffered. I promise you that you will have cause to celebrate soon. Until then, I implore you again to place your faith in the elementals and in me. Together we shall overcome this crisis. Curious. Despite what he said, I am certain this Elenya was Easura Supin. To think that he was living so close by for all those years, searching for a new purpose and finding true love, only to be robbed of that fulfillment too. Were he still a Padgel, empowered by the elementals, could he have saved her? He would have dwelt on the question, night after sleepless night. I know I would have. Mayhap in the end, he came to blame the elementals for his helplessness, for her death, and in despair was consumed. Aye, the animosity would linger, endure, and in vengeance would Gleipnir find its final purpose. We have done all we can to show the Great One the purity of our intent. Let us hope that we will be accepted as friends. Alright, back to the central shroud. Alright, all we can hope is that this was enough. Wow. I was going in the wrong direction for a moment there. That's okay. There's the guardian tree. Our supplications cannot have escaped the Great One's notice. It may be enough to receive an audience. That's just all we can hope is that it is. O Great One, may I abide ever beneath your boughs, embraced by your compassion, grace, and wisdom. Be still with the fear within your heart, and know that I am your faithful servant. All feeling. Passing corruption, refreshed, renewed green, flesh restored. Child of child, covenant honored, friend, friendship, peace. It worked. The Great One speaks through the Elder Seer. We were ready to follow Jordan's example. The corruption is but one aspect of a greater threat. Profanity spawn, despair's orphan, sadness and anger, sadness, death's prayer, one and all. Poison potent, wounds unmending, withering bark, no strength to share. After all we have done, you deny us? After all the Elder Seer has endured? She has pledged herself to you, devoted her life to the 12th Wood. The people cried out for salvation, and she answered. The elementals cried out for deliverance, and she answered. Only you can help us now. If you do not, then we are lost. She is lost. Please, I beg you. We beg you. What are you doing here? We've been dependent on the Seers all our lives, blaming them for whenever something goes wrong, without ever considering what we might do ourselves. Aye, but no longer. The Elder Seer has gone to incredible lengths for her people, and so her people have come to return the favor. If her plea alone is not convincing enough, then we will raise our voices in support. We couldn't let them make the journey without protection. That, and we couldn't let them put us to shame. We too have come to stand with the Elder Seer and beseech the Great One for aid. We all want the same thing, don't we? Peace restored to the forest. So please, share what you can, however little. Do not forsake us. Do not forsake her. Kane, Covenant's child, walks with man, with elemental, keeper of ancient faith, unbroken. Cannot, will not, break faith, to man, render up, flesh. Then you agree to help us. Flesh, branches, take and join to oldest elders, renew bond as one stir. Raise up to heavens, covenant's symbol, our staff, all join, all bloom, all peace. My duty weighed heavy on my heart, so heavy that at times I scarce remembered to breathe. For days and nights I worried that I would be found wanting. But by your faith and trust has the path forward been revealed to us. You came hither, united in purpose, and bared your hearts before the Great One. Nay, Gridania is forever in your debt. May I rely on you all once more? I bid you take these branches to every corner of the 12th Wood and join them to the eldest trees, that we might finally win free of this despair. It shall be done, Elder Seedseer. We swear it. No. Once the trees have been bound together in spirit, I shall carry out the Great One's final instruction and cast its cleansing power across all the Trollswood. Yet I must remind you, my friends, that Gleipnir still stalks the forest. It will not remain idle. It will attempt to stop us. Go with hope in your hearts, but do not lose sight of the danger. We got the help we need. Oh, I'm just back here now. Okay. I admit for a moment I thought it wouldn't work, but the Elder Seedseer moved not only the hearts of the people, but that of the forest itself. Her final task appears to be a bit more complicated than the Great One made it sound, and so she must scour the ancient texts before the time comes, and consult with the Seedseer Council to make sure all goes according to plan. It's just as well. We still need to wait until the others have joined the Great One's branches to the many ancient trees scattered throughout the Trollswood. Then, of course, there is the matter of Gleipnir. He will not go peacefully as we work to hasten his demise. When he comes, we must be ready. Let's go! Impeccable timing as always, Kaharu, but moments ago the Elder Seedseer sent word to go and fetch you. She's already on her way and will explain everything herself when she arrives. The children of the Trollswood, both Moogle and man alike, have sallied forth, branches in hand, to the far reaches of the forest. Soon their task shall be completed. Though the shadow of death yet looms at large, they do not allow despair into their hearts. They hold fast to their faith in a brighter future. We shall see their hope rewarded, and by the grace of the elementals, consign these grim days to memory. We need only succeed in summoning the ermine hedge. You may recall that the Great One's words were muddled with an esoteric. I believe it was an instruction to carry out this esoteric ceremony in order to expunge the corruption befouling the forest, that the once tainted earth may begin to mend. For you see, when the ermine hedge last was formed, it was to protect the Trollswood from threats without. The Great One acted as a guardian, embracing the woods to shield them as a father would his child. On this occasion, however, we will call upon it to nourish and revitalize, as a mother nurses her child to make them strong against sickness. In channeling the power of the elementals in this way, we can stem the spread of Gleipnir's poison, and the scars of its passing will finally heal. At least that was what the Great One intended to say, I believe. The Seedseer Council agrees with my interpretation and has permitted me to perform the ceremony. I have in my possession a single branch, the final one to be attached to the eldest tree of the Trollswood. For all that you have done to aid us thus far, I ask you accept this honor. Who better to set the final stone on this new foundation for everlasting peace? You who have sacrificed so much for the sake of others. If we had even a sliver of your courage, we could move mountains. I can do it. Thank you, my friend. We will find the tree of which I spoke up in front of the Leatherworkers Guild. Let us depart. Alright, let's go put the branch on the tree, I guess. Literally right here. Oh, that's a tall tree. Look at the boughs above, and you will see a spot where the bark has been discolored by age and the elements. There you must affix the tree. The branch, rather. How do I get up there? I don't know. You ascend the ancient truck and affix a branch of the guardian tree to the withered bark as directed by the elder seedseer. You're quite the climber, and with that, all preparations are now complete. Let's return to the guardian tree, and with the aid of the Great One, deliver salvation to the whole of the Twelveswood. Let's go. Back to Bent Branch. Away! There it is. Let's put this man to rest, shall we? If it truly is Asura's lingering resentment for the elementals that drives the blasphemy, then it will surely come. For the sake of the man he was, I must try to appeal to his reason. But should I fail, then we'll have no recourse but to fight. Regardless, this day we shall bid farewell to Gleipnir. Let's go. Through the branches of the guardian tree, the Twelveswood is become as one. In summoning the ermine hedge, every elm of these sacred lands will be imbued with the Great One's nourishing ether. The forest will be empowered to heal itself, to break free of Gleipnir's despair. The ceremony is complex and delicate, and I must maintain focus. I trust you will do what is necessary to see that I am not interrupted. Naturally. Well, that's why I'm here. Gleipnir comes! Defend the elder seedseer! There he is. Blasphemy, Gleipnir. Are the elementals so deserving of your scorn? Do you hate me too for my horns? I knew a boy once. A boy who called them gifts. Symbols of the blessing he resolved to share with the world. Yet the beast before me now brings naught but misery and death. Marks its victims with chains to bind and condemn. To share in its suffering, I was not there for you then. To share in its suffering. I was not there for you then, but I am here for you now. To unmake what you have become. I shall begin the ceremony. Stand fast and remember what we fight for. Go, Kane! Do I have to put my tank thingy back on? Nope, it's on. Go! Let's turn you over here. I am. Goes first. Ah! Oof. I'm okay. I am okay. I have the creeping death, but I am okay. Oh god. Oh god. Ah! I endured! Yes! Well, doing the best I can here. Lord. Oh goodness, oh goodness. Nope, give me these. Give me these. Oh dear. Almost. Honey. Oh, that's not sounding there. Oh, Kane, you can do this. You can do it, Kane. I believe in you. Ah. Come here. Come here. Get him! Get him, get him, get him, get him. Okay, good try, but you didn't get him. Okay, now they're dead. And leave the Seer alone. Ah! No! Stop it! Gotcha! Get back up, get back up. Kane. Kane. Have my ether. Ah.
By the grace of the elementals!
Got it. Ooh, are you okay?
By the light of the crystal!
Ooh, look at you go. I would like friends, thank you. Thank you. I'm working over you. Whoops. how you're doing this. Look at me.
I shall ease your hurts.
Thank you, Kane. Oh, that was the one when we had. Okay. Okay, I know for next time he does that. But they're fine. They're fine. Come on. I'm with you, Kane. Why are we going? Why are we over here? Ah! First missionary.
Be gone with you! God's will be done!
Kane. I'm doing my best, Kane. Come on. Gotcha. Whew. That was... Oh, goodness. Goodness gracious. Through sacred soil and azure skies, may your compassion flow and swell to banish the darkness. Receding terror, blissful quiet. Blessing, covenant preserved, now and always, child of child. Honor and gratitude unending. For we as well, honor and gratitude unending. We could not have overcome the blasphemy without your aid. In your everlasting grace, I pray you continue to guide we children of the forest. In your boundless mercy, I pray you forgive the lost and forsaken who succumb to despair. To you, my dear Iasura, I promise I shall never forget your words of wisdom. Ours is indeed a gift and a blessing, and a duty to our people I will uphold. Until my final breath, this I swear. Thank you, Kaharu. The great cleansing could not have succeeded without you. The blood has been purged, and the blasphemous beast which bore it laid low. The sacred wood that once held its breath in fear now breathes a long sigh of relief. I must return to Gridania and my regular duties as Elder Seedseer. But I should be glad if you could call upon me there. That is, if I may impose upon you one final time. Thank you. I promise not to detain you at length. Let us meet again at the Lotus Stand. Alright, back to Gridania. Even at the Conjure Hill. One last time, back to Gridania. Yep, I would like to see her, thank you. The Great One's ether flows all throughout the Toastwood, purging the last vestiges of Blasphemy's poison. The surviving wounded are no longer in danger and have begun to recover at long last. We have much cause to rejoice, in no small part because of you, my friend. On behalf of Gridania and myself, allow me to thank you yet again for your tireless efforts in bringing Gleipnir to heal. You went above and beyond the call of duty for the sake of our people and their homeland. You were inspiring to behold, and not for the first time, I must say. Forgive me, Elder Seedseer, but with this crisis behind us, I would suggest a new course of action. Oh, and what would that be? Rest. In all our time together, I have never seen you so hard-pressed. Surely you are weary and could benefit from a brief respite. I appreciate your concern, my friend, but I cannot. Will not. One day, perhaps, but not this day. But Elder Seedseer. Recent events have given me cause to reflect upon my past, upon lessons that I once thought I had taken to heart. Yet I did not understand the duty with which I had been entrusted. When these hordes of mine were but chains binding me to a destiny I did not choose. 'Twas Eosura who taught me to appreciate the gift I had been given. Had he not been there to help me keep to the proper path, would my errant feet have taken me instead? He was perhaps the first, but he was not the last. My brother and sister and countless other kind souls, through their words and their support, have also helped me to continue to find a way forward, even when I thought there was none. 'Tis by opening our hearts to one another that we, in turn, open new paths, that we can conceive of greater opportunities and brighter futures. All who live in Gridania are deserving of these gifts, and so I must always be there for them, that together we may journey in safety through the darkest night. You don't desire a life for yourself outside of your duties? My life is my duties, and my duties my life. I do what I love and desire naught else. But if there ever came a time when I need no longer serve as Elder Seedseer, I would be forced to consider alternatives. Perhaps I would do the same as Eosura and settle down with my beloved. Finding and courting them would make for quite the adventure, don't you think? Regardless of what the future has in store, my present course is clear. So long as we Patchel serve as a bridge between man and elemental, Gridania can weather any storm. And so I will continue to walk hand in hand with my people and my patrons, along a path that we discovered together. Though the blasphemy is no more, there are still administrative matters to resolve. If it is not too much to ask, could you bring word to these recent events to our delegate at Razahan? Of course I can. It has been an honor and a pleasure, my friend. May the elementals watch over and keep you. Back to Razahan. Run, 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 as fast as you can. Run, little eggplant knight, run! Here we are. Welcome back. I pray you have glad tidings? Glibnir is slain? You've brought joy to me on an otherwise uneventful day. Of course, I had complete faith in your success, but had begun to worry ever so slightly when you did not return as quickly as I anticipated. I shall report your success to the envoys at once. If we have further need of you, I pray you will answer our call. Yay! Yay! And that is that. We have done all of the role quests, at least for now, because there's probably going to be like an offshoot after I beat the MSQ. Hey, we did it! We did it! For now, why don't we take a little break in Charlian and go see what our friends are up to? We've done all of the role quests. We've done most of the MSQ, so why don't we do one more quest before we wrap up this week? I realize you still got lots to do before you depart, so I won't keep you any longer. I do hope you can find a moment for yourself, and that the others can as well. They said they're running to the Baldessian Annex, so I doubt they stayed for long. If you decide to go looking for them, I suggest speaking with Kryl first. I'm sure they would have told her their plans. Kryl! You're back. I take it you received your gift from Tataro? It was a surprise long in the making, with many, many long hours of fretting to get everything just right. I'm glad to see it realized and with great success. If you're looking for the others though, they've already taken their leave. Yashola, Thancred, and Ryanje have gone to the last stand for a bite to eat. Alexander and Tia, meanwhile, thought their time would be better spent poring over books at Numenon. As for Alphino and Estinian, well, they've elected to pay a visit to the Levier's estate, though Estinian seems somewhat reluctant to go. I'm sure they would all be glad for your company if you have a mind to seek them out. Should you be feeling peckish, I'd suggest heading to the last stand before you still and the others finish eating. But above all else, it would be foolish to read headlong into battle a fatigued mess, so do remember to get a good night's sleep. Alright, let's go to the last stand. Can I just like Ethernet? I can Ethernet here, that's close enough. Kahar, come to make a trio quartet, have you? Please, have a seat. We'll see about getting you a drink.
Your business with Tataru was finished.
Yes, yes it is.
My, what a thoughtful surprise. Whatever would we do without her?
Indeed. And she's right, you know. It hasn't been all doom and gloom.
Feels like a lifetime ago that Master Louis Soir gathered us together to form the Circle of Knowing.
Yeah, I bet it does.
Since then, we have experienced much. But rather than feeling wiser, the more I learn, the more I find my knowledge lacking.
Forsooth. As a student, vainly did I believe that I held the secrets of creation in my grasp. Yet that which I had seized was but an insignificant sliver of what awaited in the wider world. Every encounter, every experience hath served to open mine eyes, enlightening and humbling me in equal measure. Even from those whom I called enemies have I learned many a valuable lesson.
What will we learn at the edge of the universe, I wonder?
That is a good question. What will we learn when we get up there?
Ultima Thule, where the bringer of the end makes her nest. I, for one, can't possibly imagine.
Thancred, how are you holding that mug? Oh, okay, I think it glitched. That was weird.
But whatever awaits us there, we will survive. We must. For her.
We'll get through this together.
Gods, it feels like only yesterday that we went on that mission to Drybone.
I know, right?
We've both changed much since then, have we not?
Yeah.
We've come far together, and if we have aught to say about it, we'll go further still. Aye, we will avert this calamity and return home. In preparation for which, we must give thought to what we hope to achieve after the proverbial dust is settled.
What with the primals and Ascians all but dealt with, I suppose we'll need to look for new hobbies. In all seriousness, though, in uniting to overcome a common foe, the disparate peoples of the world have found a way forward together. It's a truly gratifying sight to see.
Indeed. Though it was many years in the making, we have successfully set in motion the gears of fundamental change. With this, we have fulfilled our humble role as a symbol of hope. And I dare say it is time to bow out. After all, there is no shortage of hands to bear the torch in our stead.
You know, I never really considered I might live long enough to see an after. But even if my time as a scion came to an end, I don't expect that much would change.
Probably not. Knowing us.
Traveling the world, going wherever the wind blows, lending a hand to those in need.
That's just what
A journey
we do.
for journey's sake. It doth suit thee well. I must confess, I too have yearned to see more of the world. If thou art amenable to the suggestion, I would accompany thee. Mine ability to affect an air of normalcy through artful disguise is much improved, thou must concede.
Is it really, Urianger?
Aye, well, improvement is relative. Still look suspicious no matter what you wear. What of you, Ishtona? Any grand plans?
Why, continue my quest for knowledge, naturally.
Of course.
To begin with, I wish to know the state of the reflections, to which end I must find a means to travel between worlds.
That's not going to be an easy task to accomplish, Stola.
'Tis the least I must do if I am to keep my promise.
Your promise to Runar. Yeah.
Should my pursuits prove unduly arduous, I won't hesitate to call on you. And in return, I will take you to see Reen one day. I'm sure you cannot wait to see the fine young woman she has become.
Spare me.
And what of thee? What wouldst thou pursue at duty's end?
Good question. Oh, thank you.
Here's yours. My apologies for the wait.
Thank you.
Well, shall we make a toast? To victory.
To our comrades.
To the future of the star.
Beautiful. Oh, slow down, Ariange. Leaving so soon? I suppose it's for the best. If you'd rather not explore the bottom of a bottle with Ariange. I dare say that the others will welcome your company as well, if you can find them, that is. In any case, as long as you make the most of your time, then that is all that matters. No, he's drunk! Ariange, no! Ariange, no! No, he drunk! Okay, let's go see Alphanel first, then Alice. Oh, poor Ariange. He's gonna have one hell of a hangover in the morning. Hello, you two. Aren't you looking spiffy? Estinian?
Oh. What brings you here? Ah, so you were worried that the Levier household might again be gripped by turmoil. All is well, I assure you. In my letters home, I had made mention of Estinian, you see. My mother wished to meet the legend in person, and so we arranged to have a spot of tea together.
I'm sure you did. How did you enjoy that, Estinian?
Where were you in my hour of need? Fell beasts I can face, but I'm not made for idle chit-chat with lords and ladies.
Well, I for one thought you held your own. Mother was the picture of delight.
Oh, I'm sure she was. She's...
I might have been delighted myself, were we in a tavern with more agreeable drink.
Oh, Estinian. Estinian. Amanelise is delightful, and you know it. She is a delight.
The thought of fleeing crossed my mind, but what then? I'd never hear the end of it, least of all from Tataru.
Yeah, she'd never let you live that down.
I'm sorry. 'Twas not my intent to cause you such distress. It's just... It was one of the things I didn't want to leave undone ere we set forth. That's not to say I think we won't be returning. Yet, given what lies ahead, I did not wish to leave for later that which I could do today.
That's... yeah.
After all, tomorrow is never promised.
It's fine. Not like I had better things to do. Besides, seeing you with your mother brought back fond memories of my own. Be we rich or poor, family is family.
Aww.
Well, it's past time we were on our way.
And off he goes into the night.
Wait!
What?
Since I left home, I've made a great many mistakes. Mistakes for which I can never make amends. But through it all, you didn't give up on me. To have returned here with you at my side, it means more to me than you know. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart.
Aww.
Forgive me, but it needed to be said.
I'm the one who owes you thanks. Were it not for you, I would not be alive today, nor come to terms with Nidhogg's spirit. I am ever grateful.
Aww. You never want to forsake a friend, Alphino.
No, I'm not. And I'm proud of that.
Alright, and all that's left is Alize. Here we are. Oh, they're asleep. We tried speaking with Alize, but she is fast asleep. Oh, he fell asleep. Oh, poor Dearest must be tuckered out.
Oh,
Shh. Kyle, shh, they're asleep.
knowing them, they're probably dreaming about the celestial adventures to come. Just as well. They've been running themselves ragged of late. Unlike you and the others, I'm a few steps removed from the danger and excitement. The things you all get up to never fail to impress me.
But by the same token, I can't help but worry.
Yeah, I get that, considering what we tend
Not
to
only
do.
for your safety, but for your happiness. After everything you've sacrificed, you earned it 1,000 times over. From the simple pleasures of tucking into a hearty meal or collapsing into a comfortable bed, to the grand triumphs of visiting legendary lands or finding true love. You deserve all the joy in the world.
Aww.
There is so much that life has to offer. So much to be treasured and shared with those we hold dear. So promise me this. Come what may, you won't give up on your own happiness. When you're out there fighting tooth and nail, it's all too easy to forget. But in the end, your passions will be your greatest strength of all. Remember that.
Cryo. Oh, he awaking.
This feels familiar.
Good to see you awake, Raha.
Well, 'tis good to be... wait. What am I...
Ah.
Gods, don't tell me I fell asleep.
You both did.
Not that there's any shame in it, but you were sleeping like babies.
Oh, how embarrassing.
Not a word to anyone. Understood? Not one word. I'm told that sleeping in proper beds of your own choosing is a much more effective way to prepare for battle.
So, what were the two of you doing here?
Just enjoying the quiet.
I had a few books to return to the library. Thought I'd take care of it while I could.
And you?
Came to check in on you and just enjoying a little peace and quiet. Okay, where is the Ethernet up? No, I can just run there. I can just run there from where I am. Ah. Those two. Welcome back, Car. Return to catch a final few winks before embarking on your mission, I presume? You'll be happy to know your chambers have been cleaned and fresh linens laid out. I pray you enjoy the sweetest dreams on this final night before the big day. Let's retire. That night at the Royal Menagerie in El Amigo. Ooh. Hello, Xenos.
You will never get what you want. Not even the battle you pine for so dearly. In that transcendent moment, what was it that I sought in you?
That is a question I have never been able to answer, honestly.
And what was it that you sought in me?
You know, at that point I just kind of wanted you to die, so you know. And thus it dawns. The day of reckoning.
How often have we thus assembled? To combine our knowledge and seek solutions to the problems before us.
Back at the Waking Sands, it was all we could do to address the most minor of troubles. Who could have realized what we'd find when we began to look to the sources of the realm's woes?
At the Rising Stones, we made great strides and shared many moments. From the joyous to the sorrowful.
We've had occasion to call other places home too. Be it Ishgard or Kugane, we were fortunate to find sanctuary wherein we might take stock and continue our fight.
I was honored to host this company in the Crystarium, to stand with you all as we confronted the truth of the star itself.
And now from this place, we go to fight the most important battle of all. The Forum has sent word. The Ark is ready. The Loporrits naturally will be commanding the vessel.
Naturally.
They will see the 8 of you to Ultima Thule. Upon arriving, your objective is to find and vanquish Meteon. As a final formality, the Forum bade me ascertain your resolve. So, are you certain you wish to do this?
What other choice do we have?
We are.
Then, ere you report to Thalmasane, I leave you with these words. You must triumph. What that means will differ for each of you. To make it back home, or to simply avert doom, or perhaps something else altogether. Yet whatever it is that drives you, I have faith in its power to see you through. So please, triumph. Triumph, as we who remain behind believe you will.
Let us be off then.
Wait!
Tataru?
Both Kryl and I will be there to see you off, but as your receptionist, I feel I need to say this here. Safe journey, all of you, and be safe.
I give you no guarantees, Tataru. You know how we can be. You can count. Okay, you can count on it, Tataru, but I give no guarantees considering the shenanigans we tend to get up to. And here as well, where I will end the stream. We will, on Wednesday, because I have an engagement on Monday and the game will be down all day Tuesday, we will continue this on Wednesday. We will go through Ultima Thule and finish Endwalker. Thank you for everyone who joined me today. Thank you for everyone that watched the video afterward, and I will see you next week for the end of Endwalker. Well, the end of the initial MSQ anyway. We still got the patches to go through. Well, the single patch, we still got the single patch that's currently out to go through, and the extra content that came with it. So, until then, I will see you all later. Bye!